Rod Marsh just about to throw it up.
Oh, it's hit him. Hit him somewhere around about the shoulder or neck. Oh! No comment needed.
As a batsman, if you get too much of that sort of thing, there comes a time when you can break. And I've seen a few batsmen, great batsmen, get to the end of their tether because of persistent short pitch bowling. And let me tell you, there was a lot of bounces. When the ball was around your ears, to get a half volley in that era, whether it be Thompson or Lilly and Roberts and Holding, all that mob, to get a half volley was like Christmas time. It very seldom happens. So you better be able to protect your head.
During this era, when the hits to the body often outnumbered hits to the boundary, the dangers for batsmen became all too evident. Wearing pads, a protective box and flimsy gloves, batsmen often went into the contest with nothing more than a cloth cap on their head. All can remember teammates who were felled, like a dashing young South Australian batsman called David Hooks, who took on Andy Roberts, one time too many.
Hit him.
And he's in trouble.
Hooksy, he used to hook pretty well, and then Andy Roberts, who was, I consider, one of the best bowlers that I ever faced, used to have a couple of bounces, one to be quicker and one to be slower. And Hooksy put the first one away, and then the second one hit him flush on the jaw. And I remember they carried him in, and he had a towel around his face. And they took the towel off, and there was, of course, there's blood, and in the blood you could see little shivers of bone.
Peter Toohey, that was the first test, and he got a bad one from Roberts. And the wicket, I remember the game vividly. We lost the toss on the first morning. The wicket was a little bit wet, a bit damp, and one went through and hit Rats right above the nose, and it opened up, and you're obviously very, very concerned for him. And the interesting part about that story was that he had this terrible gash in his head, and I can remember them laying him down when they got him back into the dressing room, and we said, you okay, you're going to be, basically pulled through, and his comment to us was, my head's okay, my hand's buggered. He'd broken his hand the over before and no one was aware of it.
Oh, and that's hit him a nasty blow. And in fact, it's gone onto the stumps, I think, the ball.
I saw Jeff Lawson get hit, or played in the game at the Wacker, when I think it was Curtly Ambrose hit him in the jaw, flush, and that was a sickening blow, and Henry went down, and he looked like he was out for the count, and, good mate, you just don't want to see that happen, and that certainly is etched in my memory.
The helmet has become the most essential piece of equipment in world cricket. Its development came about during the World Series cricket era after the Hooks incident.
As you get a bit older, you start to think a little bit more about the consequences. You've, at that stage, seen a McCosker felled in a test match where he's had his jaw broken. You've seen some pictures of guys around the world who've been hit in the head. And, I was there when Chatfield was dead on the field. So, of course, you start to think about it a little bit. For mine, it was the reason why we started developing crash helmets. I mean, we came down to World Series cricket. I was 32 years of age, and there were lots of others around my vintage. I've got to tell you, there was no shame going down the road to get the people who knew a bit about crash helmets to develop them.
Six again. He's hit that one. That's a better shot. That was a glorious shot, that one, from a young man making a comeback.
What they came up with initially was just an ordinary motorcycle, the lightest one they could find. But that started it all. And of course, you can imagine what that did to the Thompsons and the Lillys of this world. I mean, they saw a crash helmet, and that was it. It was a target as far as they were concerned, and away they went. And I did get hit in the head.
And he's got him on the helmet, I think. Could be the first strike, and Lilly, the man to do it. A historic moment, I think, in that Dennis Lilly, the first bowler to strike the helmet.
Nowadays, batsmen wear padding to protect the body. Their helmets have face protection, gloves help prevent broken fingers, and arm guards protect the arms. But sometimes even that isn't enough when a bowler can send them down at over 150 kilometres an hour. Just ask Joe Angel, who had his arm broken by an express delivery from Brett Lee in 1999. Or Alex Tudor, who had another ball from Lee go through his visor in 2002, leaving him with a nasty gash over the eye.
Oh, that's going a nasty one. That's nasty. Through the helmet. And he's in a bad way, unfortunately.
I don't think blood should be a part of the game. I think that batsmen do get hurt, and that's just all part of sport. You know, people get hurt in football, people get hurt in hockey. If you're playing a contact sport, people do get injured, and that's just, you know, that unfortunate thing. And I mean, I actually hate the sight of blood. I don't crave for it. You know, I don't go out there to intentionally try and hurt a batsman. Sure, you know, you might try and scare a batsman and try and get his wicket, but the most important thing is if you're working towards that last goal, which is to try and get that batsman out, that's the most important thing. But I mean, you know, there's been times when batsmen have got injured, and I've actually felt really bad after the game, and make sure that, you know, either go and call them up, or when Alex Tudor got hit, when it went straight through his grill, which is a bit of an unfortunate thing. I made sure he's okay. I went and caught up with him after the game, and he's getting stitched up, and he's holding my hand. I'm going, sorry, mate. He's going, nah, it's okay. It's all part of it. It'd be pretty wrong to say that it shocked me more than it shocked him, but I was pretty shaken up about it because he's laying on the ground. There's all this blood, and I mean, it's a terrible thing to think about, but there's all this blood spurting out, and I thought it killed him. You know, I thought he's in a lot of trouble, but yeah, he got it stitched up and he was fine.
Batsmen have helmets. They have every bit of protection available, and yet they still worry about intimidation, you know, intimidatory bowling. And it's a bit ridiculous, really.
You don't have much sympathy for him?
Not at all. I know as a batsman, as a tail-end batsman, I get bounced, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm more than happy to cop 10 in a row, 20 in a row, because that's part of the game.
We're always joshing with the fast bowlers and telling them how they're bloody mad, and you've got to be mad to be a fast bowler. And I was telling Andy Roberts this one day after he'd retired and I'd retired, and I was telling Andy this, and he looked at me, he said, Ian, he said, there's only one person who is sillier than a fast bowler. I said, oh, who's that, Andy? He said, the opening batsman who come out and face him.
If a guy gets seriously injured, like if a ball gets through the helmet grill, I must say I am a bit concerned. But if I see a guy getting hit on the shoulder or in the ribs, or I must say I'm not overly concerned, because, you know, we're all men playing a man's game, and I believe, you know, if you're out there, you know, you should cop the good with the bad, you know. Like, an old analogy, I suppose, you know, there's a 2 bounces and over rule. I mean, you know, if they're going to be dead serious about it, there should be the 2 cover drives and over rule, you know. Like, you know, if a batsman hits you for 2 cover drives, just say, umpire should say, well, that's enough, you know. They're not allowed to bowl two bounces, so you're not allowed to hit 2 cover drives, you know, or no more than 2 cover drives. So I'd like to see that come in, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll happen.
Another ripper. Not getting a result, but 151.9. The crowd roaring here.
The current interest in express bowling was revived by a young Pakistani paceman, Shoaib Akhtar, who was timed in the late 90s at 154 kilometres an hour.
Oh, he's got him, it's well bowled, beautifully bowled.
About a year later, Australia's Brett Lee was timed in his first test at the same speed. Throughout 2000, the two consistently bowled at speeds in excess of 150, pushing each other until they both bowled at 156 kilometres an hour.
Oh, and right up in the block hole, so that one 156.2 kilometres an hour, and that's as fast as he's ever bowled.
Meanwhile, other bowlers started breaking through the 150 kilometre an hour barrier. South Africa's Nanty Hayward stopped the speed gun at 154.4. New Zealand's Shane Bond also joined the club with a 151 kilometre an hour delivery, as did another South African bowler, Makhaya Ntini. The 6th bowler to join this exclusive express pace club was Australian Jason Gillespie, who peaked at 153.9.
Big shout there, and out first ball. Beautiful bowling from Jason Gillespie, who's now on a hat-trick.
It's nice to sort of like look up and see that you bowled 150 plus. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, it was nice, but it's not something you go and specifically set out to do. You know, there's a lot of factors in being able to achieve that sort of speed. I think the way the ball's coming out on the day, you know, favourable conditions. And, you know, guys like Brett and Shoaib can do it pretty consistently. Someone like myself, I'd have to really push through and go as hard as I can, and you know, and it hurts a little bit at times if I, you know, try to achieve that sort of mark. But it's not something you go out to achieve every game you play.
I enjoy it when they have their quick spells. You get there, and when because I commentate and that, and you get there and see them bowling quick, and you see the batsmen hopping around. Yeah, it brings back memories. But the thing is, I think this day and age, it lacks a lot. There's only Shoaib turns up every now and then and bowls a sharp spell. Brett Lee bowls quick in spells. He'll tell you that himself, not consistently. And there's not many others. I mean, when we played in our era, there was an era of fast bowlers galore, you know, when a few of those blokes I just mentioned before, and then you throw in your Imran cards, and then all the blokes around Australia, there was lunatics running around here trying to hit everybody all the time, apart from Lily and myself. And then all the other teams always seem to have quick bowlers around the place. So there's a barrage of fast bowlers.
Oh, what a quick finish to the over. 3 very good deliveries.
The introduction of the radar gun has increased the interest in express pace because for the first time, viewers have a reference for just how much speed each bowler is generating with his deliveries.
The most popular form of speed measurement at the moment is microwave technology. And it's just basically 2 radars which send out a microwave beam and will detect any movement within that beam.
The speed gun, to me, I think is a terrific thing for the public, might be good for the viewers sitting at home, but it doesn't matter a tinker's curse for the players. But also, you know, I've always said I don't need any speed gun, I don't need any computer to tell me that the guy that I'm facing is fast. Crikey's, if I'm, 20 yards away or whatever that is in metres away, I bloody well know. I better know it's fast, otherwise I'm in deep trouble.
So how sure can you be these days that when we've recorded speeds of, say, 160 and 161 kilometres an hour, that those are the real speeds?
Well, these speed guns get sent away to their manufacturers on a regular basis to get calibrated, and they come back with calibration certificates, and they're all certified technicians, obviously, that do this for us, and we obviously know if we're out or not, because we know what to expect nowadays from the bowlers, and they're pretty close.
Gone. It's a quick delivery. 150.5. Stephen Fleming's up.
When Brett's on a really good spell, I've got butterflies in my stomach, and I mean it excites the hell out of me. I love it.
Oh, and that one does bounce, and that's it. He's caught behind. Yes, he's caught behind. Another very fast delivery.
They time them differently now. I mean, these speed guns are gimmicks. I mean, yes. I mean, you can even query the coppers when they book you on the road, but the blokes will tell you the technicians that set them up. They're just, it's only a guideline for the punters that go and watch, and it's not accurate. No, they only time it out of the hand. I mean, you sound like I'm a bloke trying to protect a record. Well, I bowled bloody quick, and I think I bowled quicker than these blokes.
In 1999, Dennis Lillee had written about a sensational young speedster who was about to burst onto the world stage. That young man lived up to all the hype when, with his 4th Test delivery, he took a wicket.
And he's got him. First wicket in Test cricket for Brett Lee, and he's done it by hitting the stumps.
He ended up with 5 for the innings and produced a top speed of 154.1 kilometres an hour.
I've been waiting since I was 9 years old to play Test cricket. It's been my dream to wear that baggy green cap. I'm there with guys who I've watched on TV growing up, and I think, well, I'm just going to go out there and just give them my best shot. Don't be nervous. Don't go out there and hold back. Just go and be nice and positive and just enjoy it, because it's just a game of cricket. So I've walked out there, and yeah, I mean, it was a pretty exciting day for me.
Well, I was actually in Melbourne. Mates of three of my good mates, we always go to Melbourne for the Boxing Day Test. It's been a bit of a tradition now. and we'd already booked the flights, and then we found out Brett had been picked, so it was a bit of an added bonus. And we're actually sitting in the outer at the MCG. I actually get goosebumps when I tell this story, but when he came in that first over, and I think it was fourth ball, and the batsman played on, I think I was first out of my seat, dropped the pie and the beer, and but no, it was great to see him. There was a big build-up before that Test match about this new young fast bowler, and I was quite nervous for him, hoping he'd do well, but things worked out very well.
Oh, and that's well bowled. Big appeal. Yes, got him out. LBW first ball. Brett Lee, beautiful delivery. Bang on target. Fast, furious, and dead straight. Oh, he's hit him in there. This is out. Yes, he's taken it. That's the end of Srinath. He's got another one. Oh, what a day. 5 wickets on debut. Brett Lee has brought the MCG alive.
Brett Lee's enthusiasm for the game stemmed from his older brother Shane, who captained New South Wales and represented Australia in 45 one-day internationals.
Shane came home, and Shane was about 10 at first, and I would have been like 7. Came home and asked Mum and Dad if he could learn how to play cricket. And Mum and Dad said, don't play cricket, it's a pretty boring sport, you know. Play soccer or football or something like that, which would be over in about an hour or so. Thinking, you know, they'd hate to sit down in the field watching 6 hours of play. So Shane left and went back to school and didn't really sort of mention cricket for about the next 2 years. Came home when he was 12 and said, I don't care what you play, I'm playing cricket. Threw me the ball and said, bowl to me. And I said, well, how do you bowl? I was only 9 at that stage. And he said, just roll your arm over like this. So then I started bowling in the backyard, and then about 2 months later I joined the local cricket side, the Oak Flats Rats, down on the south coast, and just fell in love with fast bowling.
We had a really long driveway at home, and being the oldest brother, I was always the one who batted first, and threw about the tennis ball at a young age. One thing I do remember, we always had a really good action. He was always really short for his age at that stage, but a really good action, bowled pretty quick pretty much from day one.
Before Brett Lee was selected for Australia, he won the Man of the Match award in a Sheffield Shield game for New South Wales in Perth. His devastatingly quick bowling in the game will live forever in the memory of those who took part.
I had pretty good guys to try and impress. That Steve Orr as captain for the New South Wales team. Michael Slater, Mark Ward, the whole boys were in there watching, so I thought it'd be a pretty good chance to try and impress the Australian captain. And I was bowling with the wind, with the Fremantle doctor behind me, had the second brand new ball, and things just happen sometimes, and the body felt really good. There's a slight breeze behind me. The wicket had a lot of carry, the ball was going through pretty well, so a whole different lot of factors contributed to the whole mental thing of I felt like it was coming out quick, and I remember sort of Brad Haddon saying that's the fastest he's ever seen keeping wise, and he's kept it to me for quite a few years now, and he'd definitely put that up there with the quickest he's seen. So it's just at that stage where there's a few wickets falling too. So once you get a couple of wickets, you tend to bowl a little bit quicker the next ball, and get pretty excited.
And that's the quickest I'd ever seen a bowler bowl, and the least time I've ever seen a batsman have to react to a ball. And the Western Australian coach at the time actually said he was scared for his batsman walking out there. And Brett broke Joe Angel's arm that day, and that's as nasty or as fast as I've ever seen a bowler bowl.
Brett's rise in world cricket has coincided with that of Shoaib Akhtar, the Rawalpindi Express.
Oh, he's knocked him over. What a ripper, what a good piece of bowling. 151.1.
When Brett Lee set a new personal benchmark of 157 kilometres an hour in 2002, Shoaib responded with several faster deliveries, one being timed at 159.9, a mere 1.1 kilometre an hour shy of the magical 100-mile-an-hour barrier. The two speedsters seem to be taking inspiration from each other.
We're great mates, and we've been pretty good friends for the last 5 or so years. Shoaib came out and played a few games for Mossman, which is my local club here in Sydney. But I think the first time that I heard about Shoaib Akhtar, we just finished playing a first grade game for Mossman, so the guys had gone up back to the club for a couple of quiet ones after the match, and remember watching on Foxtel and watching the bowlers running and bowling pretty quick, and then there's a huge buzz and everyone's saying, who's this Shoaib Akhtar guy? Because he's got the batsman jumping around everywhere and he's bowling really quick. So I took a few mental notes and thought, Akhtar, he's got some serious pace. And then as he grew more in stature and become a bit more confident, he just started to bowl really quick, and he's bowling 150s each time he's bowling. So I thought this guy's a really good chance of breaking the 160. So I was pretty honoured and proud to meet him, and we just clicked straight away. Obviously we had a few things in common. We both love bowling fast, and there's times then when he actually flew out to Australia, and we caught up and had a bit of a feed and a bit of a chat, and we shared a few different things about fast bowling, and I've learned a lot off him, and hopefully he's learned a little bit off me about bowling. And
I think Brett is one of the a good thing happened to Australian cricket, and I just wish him best of luck, and I just wish him to perform well, keep him performing well. He's been bowling well for the last year or so, and his end of the day matters lots as a record, and your name in the books. If you've got more than 300 wickets in Test cricket, that's people's going to remember then. Oh yes, Brett was a fastest bowler, or Shoaib was a fastest bowler, and I'm not worried about that thing. If someone's going to come along the line and the road, like someone's tried to cross the 161 at the day, and I'll be happy for him. I'll be the first person to congratulate him. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not a jealous person, and I'm not looking for any rivalries. I just want to perform. I just want to enjoy my cricket. I love playing cricket. I love playing for my country, and I'm just trying to be a best servant of my country and to the game. And whoever is doing the best, I'm always happy for them.
I remember playing at the Colonial Series, like a one-day comp, and I've gone at the bat, and there's a huge crowd, and it's pretty noisy out there, and sort of facing up, and they tell you a tip about facing a fast bowler is that you don't try and watch him run in, because if you watch a fast bowler running in the whole way, then you see him running in and you're thinking, oh geez, he's getting closer, he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they just worry about the bowler and not worry about the ball coming down. So the best batsmen who face fast bowling tend to have their head down the whole time, have like a bit of a count, because they know a bowler's run up, and then run up just as he's about to jump, and then you can switch on then and then watch the ball. Me being not a known batsman, I've gone into the face of the first ball, and he's gone bing up, bouncer. And I've gone like, what? And he's looked up again, he's going like this, straight in my head.
And he's pointing to his head. Here he comes.
I thought, well, he's either going to go two ways. He's either going to try and do the reverse Malachi, we call it, when the batsman says or a bowler says he's going to do something, does the other thing. So I'm thinking, definitely going to be a Yorker here. He's going to try and knock me over first ball, try and get me going away. I think it's going to be a short ball. And sure enough, it was a big Yorker straight in. I missed him straight on the bridge of the foot. Hurt me a lot. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty scary moment too. But there's times when I've been bowling to him, and I actually bounced him that game prior to him bowling to me, so I knew that there was going to be something quick coming at me.
Yes, the second match, I remember that. I just was joking with him, and I just tried to scare him, and so I was going to pitch a bouncer because he's not a scared person at all. So he loves to take challenges, and I just was a kind of joke rather than anything else. So I just tried to bowl Yorker to him, and I just deceived him, but didn't get a wicket. But on the other hand, my friend Andy Bickle, he gave me a wicket so easily, so I was far happier than anything else.
Oh, he's knocked him over. That's what good fast bowlers do. Dead straight, 8 for 163.
He's one of the great favourites in world cricket, especially amongst the girls. I mean, he's the most incredible character. Flamboyant, doesn't know, he's so enthusiastic. You could see him when he gets involved in interviews and things, he doesn't know where to stop talking. I mean, he just gets so excited. And so when he gets going out in the centre, you can see him build up. You can see the frustration written all over him when he doesn't quite get it all together, because he's not quite, I don't think, as rhythmic as Brett Lee. He needs to be warm, sweaty, before it really starts to happen for him. But he's a great fast bowler and very, very exciting to watch.
I just do my job, and I just always enjoy crowd, and I always be nice to the crowd. I never had a tough time in Australia, and I never had any tough time anywhere else in the world, and I always enjoy it. I enjoy my bowling, enjoy myself. I just try to make most of it myself, because I just want to play my cricket. I just want to serve the best to my country. I just want to be greatest service of my country as long as I can play for my country. I just want to be out there, enjoy myself, enjoy properly and do my job properly, and just enjoy it all together. And that's my aim is, and I'm just taking each day as it comes.
He's a naturally gifted athlete for a start. I mean, he never started bowling fast about 18, 19 years of age. He is hypermobile in every joint of his body. We took him to a trauma specialist in England who measured all this hypermobility, and it's not just in his shoulder or his elbow or whatever, it's all over his body. And I think it's just that little bit of extra extension that he gets because of this hypermobility that gives him that extra little lever, if you like, to be able to bowl as quick as he. Brett Lee, I think, is just got a beautiful action. He's strong. He's beautiful rhythm in his bowling, and he's just an out-and-out, very good power athlete.
Well, that's a very quick bouncer and a very accurate one. All it brings is a smile.
I always admire lots of Australian batsmen because they are used to fast bowling and they're never scared. I don't know deep side and heart in the heart like what they feel like, but it shows a bit of character to me and shows a bit of character to other bowlers.
Oh, that was quick, and it really climbed. A terrific take by Mohan Khan.
I was standing at the non-strikers end when Ricky faced an over from Shoaib Akhtar, which must have been, Jeff Thompson, they tell me, used to bowl like the wind, but must have been the fastest over ever bowled in Test history. It was unbelievable. I was at the other end giggling and sort of chuckling at Ricky, who was almost got to a stage where he thought, this is so quick. He had a smile back. Usually you'd be all tense and pumped, but he was having a smile because that one over from Akhtar, bowling with the sea breeze behind him at the whack on a fast bouncy wicket, was as quick as I've seen in a game of cricket, I think.
And once again, a climber.
That's when it's nice to be up here in the commentary box and not out there with a green helmet on.
For 28 years, Jeff Thompson's 160.45 km/h delivery, just shy of 100 miles an hour, had been recognised as the fastest ever recorded. The big question in world cricket was, could anyone exceed it? Moreover, could anyone break cricket's metaphorical 4-minute mile, the 100-mile-an-hour barrier? The 2003 World Cup in South Africa seemed the ideal arena for a showdown between the kings of speed.
I still state that I'd much rather take 5 wickets than bowl 160 because, it's great to bowl fast, but there's no point in bowling fast if you can't bowl that right line length. And there's no reason to why you can't bowl fast and bowl controlled too. But, that was a major goal, and that was a goal that I had during the World Cup. I knew that I felt pretty fit. It's probably the fittest I've felt over the last probably 2 or 3 years. So mentally I was strong. I felt very sort of physically strong. It was at that stage where I was bowling and things just felt great, and I thought that one came out pretty good, and they came up about 150 odd my first over, and I thought, well, bowling with a brand new ball too helps pace a little bit, and then bowl the next ball 154, so I kept climbing. And I thought, well, if there's ever a chance to bowl 160, this is definitely it. So I didn't really want to sort of push it too much, because if I was trying to bowl too fast, then your pace tends to drop a fair bit. So I thought, just keep going through my checkpoints. Obviously, keep bowling that right line length to try and take wickets. That's what I'm here for. But if I stay nice and tall, keep my front arm up nice and high and pull down nice and hard, then it might happen. Then I looked up and 158, and I thought, well, that's the quickest I've ever bowled so far. And I haven't really even tried to sort of crank one up at full pace yet.
Just short of 160, that last delivery, just short of 160 k's. Look at that fastest ball, 159.9.
So I thought, well, there's a chance here of having a crack at it, and then I bowled one ball. I thought that felt pretty good. Looked up, it said 160.
Oh, he's got that way off his thigh pad, I think. Down to fine leg for one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great feeling to bowl at 160, and I thought, well, this is amazing. I've broken that 160 barrier, so I went back down to fine leg, and they all cheered me, which was a very special moment. But I'd definitely sort of say that deep down inside, I've always wanted to break that 160 barrier, because it's been a dream of mine since I was 10 years old to try and be the world's fastest bowler. If you go and ask my mother, she said I've always wanted 2 things growing up, and one was to play cricket for Australia, and one was to be the world's fastest bowler. So it was a very special moment to achieve that 160 barrier.
Oh, and that's a good ball. That's a very good ball. It's gone flying away over the top of Ponty. Oh boy, that one certainly did take off.
Brett Lee had achieved his own personal best with 160.7, but Shoaib went even faster, 161.3, or 100.2 miles an hour, the first bowler ever to be recorded at more than 100 miles an hour.
Very quick from Shoaib Akhtar, an excellent over, a maiden from that speedster, 4 overs gone, 100.2 miles an hour, brilliant stuff. England 7 for 1.
I was there with Pakistan at the World Cup. I was there as a fast bowling advisor to them, and that particular day at where we were at Cape Town, and Akhtar decided that he was going to let rip, but he 1 for 60, I think, or none for 60. He might have got 1 wicket, but off his 8 or 9 overs wasn't very good return. So speed is not necessarily, particularly in the one-day game, the absolute be-all and end-all. Put a bit of bat on a bit of speed and it gathers pace and you can go for quite a few runs. So Shoaib wasn't, he was happy he bowled that fast delivery on that particular occasion, broke the 100-mile-an-hour barrier, but, his absolute figures in that game were pretty horrendous.
Here he comes again. That's gone in the air, but it'll end up safe. In fact, it's gone all the way 6, top edge, with extreme pace.
I was feeling good. I thought this is a day, just finish it once for all. But unfortunately, I crossed 100 miles. But unfortunately, I didn't bowl good in last 2-3 overs, which I should have bowled good and given away a couple of runs. Well, then in the day, I just didn't really enjoy it the way I should. But, something needs to be done and something has to be done. And I crossed it, I've done it. And it's finished once for all now. And now I'm just going out there and just enjoying myself by performing a lot.
Oh, and he's bowled him, leg stump.
I think it's having a huge impact on kids. I think we've seen in Australia kids go from bowling leg spin and having blonde hair to now looking to bowl fast and rip it down the pitch. So I think it's having an impact not only in the current top-level cricketing ranks, but right down to the grassroots level.
I think it's a great thing for cricket. I think there's some other boys around the world that are going to give a bit of a shake as well. I think, they're naturally gifted athletes and very powerful athletes. They've got the benefit these days of a lot of strength training and power training, and, I think it's only going to improve. I don't think they'll bowl all that much quicker than what they're bowling at the moment, but I think there'll be a lot of bowlers up and around that mark over the next few years.
We almost forgot about the quick man for a while there, but it's probably been a resurgence in recent times with people like Shoaib Akhtar and Brett Lee that have once again, we're probably almost going back to the 70s, where they've made running in at top pace, longish hair, snarls on the face, short pitch bowling. They've made that much more fashionable again. There's a lot of kids out there I know now who want to be Brett Lees, where maybe 5 or 10 years ago they wanted to be Shane Warne.
They've got over the Warney bit, I think, with the leg spin and the wronging and dreaming up new balls and mystery balls and all this garbage, you know what I mean? Warney's a good player, got a great bowler and all that, but spin bowling, you're never going to get hurt with a spinner bowling at you. When I used to play, I couldn't believe my luck when I go out there and somebody bowl a spinner to me. Oh, happy birthday, So fast bowlers, it's a different kettle of fish, It's like hopping in a race car compared to hopping in a Morris 1000.